Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Shakayla. I create and share delicious plant-based recipes and inspiration. If you're returning, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. As you can tell by the title of this video, the weather is cooling, which means it is time for the fall recipes. So I wanted to share two recipes that, you don't have to just eat these during the fall, but because they're so comforting and cozy, I feel like this time of the year is when we need it the most. So the very first recipe that I'll be sharing is my chickpea curry. If you know, you know. This is actually the recipe that made me go from liking chickpeas to loving chickpeas. And I'm sure it's gonna do the same for you. The second recipe I'll be sharing is a creamy mushroom pasta. It's like, I love mushrooms and I love pasta, so we're just gonna bring them together and get the best of both worlds. So I hope that you enjoy both of these recipes. Be sure to let me know in the comment section which one you plan to try, if not both. And without further ado, let's get into the video. First up is the chickpea curry, and again, this dish alone made me go from liking to loving chickpeas. So for this, you're gonna need canned chickpeas, or you can use fresh chickpeas, better than bouillon, no chicken or vegetable base. You'll need olive oil, a vegetable broth, or you can use a no chicken broth, and then unsweetened coconut milk. For the spices, you'll need cayenne pepper, curry powder, you'll need celery salt, as well as fresh or dry thyme. And then for our fresh ingredients, you'll need ginger, you'll need garlic, red and green bell pepper, as well as a yellow onion, and then a leafy green. And the leafy green I chose to go with is kale, but you can also use spinach. So now let's start prepping everything that we'll need. So we're gonna cut up our yellow onion and dice that. And we're also gonna dice our red bell pepper and our green bell pepper. And if you are purchasing fresh ginger and garlic, you'll also want to go ahead and mince that as well. Next, we're going to go ahead and get our spices together. So we're going to add in our curry powder, celery salt, cayenne pepper. You can use as little or as much of the cayenne pepper that you want. I go in with just a little bit. And I wasn't able to find fresh thyme, so I used dry, and either one works. And oh yeah, don't forget the black pepper as well. So now let's start cooking. We're going to start off by cooking up our onions, bell pepper, the ginger, and the garlic. Now, I forgot to add the ginger and garlic to this one, so pretty much do as I say, not as I do with this particular section of the video. Next, add in those spices that we put together, and at this point your house is going to smell like you've been cooking a full course meal. But here we're just wanting the flavors to be unleashed from all of those seasoning spices, and then even the vegetables. Add in those chickpeas and let that just cook down for a bit, not too long, maybe about a minute or two, if that. Because then we're going to add in our coconut milk, followed by the vegetable broth. And by the way, the full recipe for this dish will be linked in the description box, so you can get all the ingredients you need and the exact steps as well. And just before we cover this up to let it simmer, we're going to add in the better than bouillon, either vegetable or no chicken base. I've tried it with either one and they work well. Even if you had like the no beef base one, you could also do that if that's all that you can find. So while the chickpea curry is simmering, I'm just going to prep my kale, so just removing it off the stem, washing it, chopping it up so that it's in bite-sized pieces. This would also be a really good time to start on your rice if you are enjoying this with rice or another grain. All right, next we're gonna add in our leafy greens. So again, I'm going in with kale. You could do spinach. You could also do cabbage. Now, if you wanna do cabbage, I would recommend cooking the cabbage with the onions, bell peppers, and the ginger and garlic, because that can be a bit tough and you want that to cook down a bit, but that's just an option if you're looking to add more fiber to this. So now your chickpea curry should look something like this. I'm serving mine over rice. Y'all, this one is so good, literally like a hug in a bowl. This actually got me about 4 to 5 servings of the chickpea curry, so this is perfect for, if you're cooking dinner for your family or even as a meal prep. I used it as meal prep for the week. And if you want to add more protein to this, you can do so by adding tofu, tempeh, or even hemp seeds. Next up is our creamy mushroom pasta, and y'all, it is giving 5-star dining, okay? So for this, you'll either need silken tofu or soaked cashews, dairy-free milk, mushrooms. I went in with shiitake and baby bella mushrooms. You need shallots, garlic, fresh parsley, nutritional yeast or dairy-free parmesan, vegan butter, and vegan Worcestershire sauce. I did kind of good with that one. We're gonna start by prepping the ingredients, so dicing the shallots into small pieces. You can either mince or roughly chop the garlic into small pieces as well. So after we've prepped all the ingredients, we're gonna add the mushrooms to a skillet over medium heat without any liquid or oils. That'll allow the water in the mushrooms to kind of cook out. That's sometimes why mushrooms aren't as crispy as they could be when you cook them in the skillet, because we just added excess liquid to it. We're gonna make our pasta sauce by combining silken tofu, dairy-free milk, and salt. You can add in garlic as well, but we're just gonna blend that until it's creamy and smooth. And I went ahead and started boiling my pasta, so you should do the same. Okay, now back to the mushrooms. We're gonna add in some vegan butter as well as the shallots, and we're gonna let those cook down. I went in with some salt and black pepper. You can add in more seasonings if you like, but when I tell you this was delicious with just these two, it was. But you can add in like all-purpose seasoning or something like that. So if your mushrooms were sticking to the skillet just from when we were cooking them without any oil or liquid, you should be able to just remove anything that was sticking by just scraping that up with your spatula. Add in the garlic and let that cook for a bit, for about a minute or two, followed by the vegan Worcestershire sauce. I actually found my vegan sauce at my local Kroger, so if you need some, be sure to check there first. Now we're gonna add in the tofu cream sauce or the cashew cream sauce, along with some vegan parmesan and or nutritional yeast. The brand of vegan parmesan that I'm using is actually Violife, but I also like to use the Follow Your Heart brand. Oh, and don't forget to add, just a little bit of lemon juice for a little twang. So we're gonna give that a good stir, and it should go from like a white color to a beige color because of that Worcestershire sauce. I know somebody gonna help me out in the comments. Please, 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 please. Add in the pasta. I actually pulled mine straight from the water, so I didn't drain it because I wanted some of that pasta water to come over with it to kind of help thin it out, because the pasta sauce did start to thicken. Here I'm going in with some fresh parsley, but you can also use fresh basil or even spinach for some added leafy greens if you like. And I served mine with more dairy-free parmesan, and it was so delicious. So I hope that you enjoy these 2 comfort meals. I hope they make the start of fall that much better for you. Again, you can find these recipes linked in the description box, but I will see you in the next video.